We're headed to the UP. There's a retired Coast Guard guy that used to work in this engine room, and Billy is totally geeking out.
I was a fanboy if I ever did see one.
We have our home for the evening. Not the most level spot in the world, but could be worse. It looks like there's a little path right to the beach over here, so let's go check it out. Hi, my name is Billy.
I'm Sierra, and this is our dog Jetty.
We usually live and travel on a boat, a few different boats in fact.
But now we are driving across the country as our new boat is being built.
Join us on this all-new Tula adventure.
As we drive, bike, hike, paddle, and sail across the good old USA.
Don't forget to subscribe. Alright, Sierra's driving the rig. She's driving us up to the Upper Peninsula here in Michigan. I usually do all the driving, but Sierra's been wanting to drive the rig. Steering on this truck's a little bit loose, even though I replaced like all the steering components. I think my ball joints that we just got a year ago, I think they're already getting a little bit worn down. A little bit drifty, just more than like your modern car would be.
You have to move the steering wheel a lot. Okay, I did 30 miles. That was really stressful. Hardest part is that we have the bikes in the front, and where I sit height-wise, my eyes are like straight at the handlebars, so I just need to be like 2 inches taller.
Really great.
I've had a love-hate relationship, more hate than love, with Billy's truck over the years. I borrowed it to go to school once, like an hour away. I don't know what happened, but the seat got stuck like backwards, and I couldn't like reach the pedal, and I had to drive an hour home like not being able to reach, and it was so terrifying. We're almost in Mackinac City. I think we're gonna stop and check that out, maybe stop at a coffee shop to try to get a video uploaded, and then we are headed to Lake Superior State Forest where we'll spend the night, and then tomorrow we'll drive to Pictured Rocks and we'll go paddleboarding, hopefully through the caves, and then I don't know from there.
We're just driving right along the coast up the east side of Michigan. It's been pretty cool just driving through these small towns and then a bunch of woods, and then you see the lake here and there. It seems like we're getting like more and more like nautical. Do you still call it nautical, like on the Great Lakes? I don't know, like nautical. Like we just passed a town that had like some big ships in there and stuff like that. I think Mackinac City, I have a feeling that that's going to be a very nautical town. I know in sailing they have the Chicago to Mac race is a big sailing race, and they have that every year, and that's a really big sailing race. So we'll be right in that area. Right over the bridge, we'll be in the Upper Peninsula, and that's where everyone has been saying it's their favorite place in Michigan, basically. Like, we just gotta check it out.
We're headed to the UP.
On our way up to the Upper Peninsula, we decided to stop at Mackinac City, which is right before the Mackinac Bridge, which we cross over to get to the UP. The main thing we wanted to see here in Mackinac City is the famous Mackinac. It's a huge U.S. Coast Guard icebreaker ship.
Do you have a limit on how expensive these tickets are, whether we're gonna go or not?
Like, out of all museums, this is a museum I really want to check out. Like, probably the most interesting museum there could be to me, next to the Nantucket Whaling Museum. So the limit is $20 a pop. If it's more than that, we'll see how the outside looks.
We'll just walk by it.
Reconsider.
Need some love. You think they'll give it to us?
Fixer upper? This is our kind of place.
This boat's cool.
Which one?
Which one do you think?
The metal one?
Reminds me of something you would see in Waterworld.
Yeah.
Stephen Heck, I hope you caught that.
It looks like maybe an old pilot boat or something.
United States Coast Guard cutter Mackinac made it possible for iron ore and copper from the upper peninsula of Michigan to be transported to the wartime factories in the lower lakes during the winter months. This is how thick the hull is at the ice belt. Oh my gosh, it's so heavy. Wow. This is an anchor chain link. That's one link.
That's the piston.
She cleared the way for these raw materials from which tanks, airplanes, jeeps, and other critical machinery were built and ultimately helped win the war. She was commissioned in 1944 and quickly earned the title Queen of the Great Lakes. She kept shipping lanes in the Great Lakes open to commercial traffic for over 60 years. This powerful icebreaker, also known as Mighty Mac, was capable of breaking 40 feet of wind-thrown ice and 42 inches of blue ice. She was the largest and most powerful icebreaker anywhere in the world at the time.
So the engines, there are 6 engines?
Yes, you're currently in engine room 2. So there's an engine room aft and forward. You're directly in the middle. These 2 engines up here could run the bow as well as the stern, but not at the same time.
Okay.
Those 4 could run the stern. So during the winter when they were running 4, they could run those 4 or those 4, and then during the summer they could run those 2 if they wanted to. Usually when they were in dry dock, those 2 got the most maintenance done. The other 4, when they were down, they would work on them when they were out and about.
So it's diesel electric?
Yes.
So they're generating with just electricity?
The engines work to generators. The generators then run to motors. The motors then turn the shafts, which then turn propellers.
Okay.
And the bow propeller, you can see in that picture, is tucked underneath, so it's able to suck up water from underneath that ice to wash the hull, in a sense. So it's kind of like lubrication in a sense. So it was keeping that ice from sticking to the ship.
And was that always on when it was breaking ice?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was usually tucked. So ice was usually between here and here, so it was able to suck underneath that. And plus, when you remove that water from underneath that ice, it causes an air bubble, and which causes it easier for the ship to ram its way through.
What year was it decommissioned?
2006.
Okay.
About a little over 15 years ago.
Wow. Was it regular diesel fuel they used?
Yes, regular number 2 diesel.
Okay.
They'd fill her once a year, and it took 2 weeks to fill her.
And they'd only fill her once a year? Wow.
To fill her nowadays would be a little over $1 million.
Oh my god. How many gallons is that?
346,910 gallons.
Oh my
Man,
gosh.
that's insane. And were all the engines were the same?
Only thing different between every engine were their names. The ones you're looking at are Jake and Elwood. They were named after the Blues Brothers.
Okay. How many cylinders are they?
10-cylinder, 20 piston. Hosing piston, 2-stroke.
Oh,
so there's
interesting.
one on top and on bottom.
Wow. That's so cool, huh?
There's a retired Coast Guard guy that used to work in this engine room, and Billy is totally geeking out, asking tons of questions.
So
I was a fanboy if I ever did see one.
Are you okay? Doing all right? Give me a little thumbs up. I think this way.
It says mine's closed.
So this is the towing machine. Look at that cable. The cable's like 2 inches thick almost.
It was super cool to be able to step on and walk through this unique piece of history. All boats and ships have similar components that make them what they are, but the Mackinac was everything we know scaled up to about 1,000. And you better believe Billy was drooling the entire time.
And the whole time we were on the Mackinac, there was one main thing that Sierra just could not get over. What do you think?
I can't believe this isn't an ocean.
Right?
And our tour is complete. Guess what happened while we were in the Icebreaker Museum?
What?
Guess.
I got nothing.
We hit 150,000 YouTube subscribers. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's all because of your singing voice.
Probably. I don't doubt it.
Face and jetty.
I don't doubt it.
I don't even know why I'm here.
So thank you all for subscribing. If you haven't already, make sure you do so because we post lots of videos doing lots of very different things. For the most part, it's about boats and trucks and Jetty being cute and all. We asked the lady in the Icebreaker gift shop where she recommended for us to go out to eat, and she recommended a place just west of where we were, and that's where we are now, and hopefully they have some fish.
Try to get something local, like your pasties
Yeah,
thing that you just
I
said.
also just read in a book that Michigan is known for a thing called a pasty? One of those. There's a very specific way to say it, and you're supposed to say it the right way. And I'm not sure which way that is, but it kind of sounded like a roadie that we were eating in Grenada, so maybe we'll find one of those.
This place looks good. This is like home style, you can tell.
They had a sign that said they only serve real mashed potatoes. Okay, let's see who went with the healthier route. I got broiled whitefish with Parmesan on top and vegetables.
I got a hot turkey sandwich with
Stuffing
and gravy and mashed potatoes on white bread. What do you think? Is this what you're supposed to get in the Midwest here in Michigan? How is it, love?
This is gonna be my first taste of lake fish.
Ever?
Pretty good. It's a little mushier than the fish I'm used to, but it's still good.
I feel like I'm eating Thanksgiving leftovers right now.
Thank you.
It's gonna be nap time after this one.
Definitely not.
Give me some of that white fish. Definitely has a different taste. It was good.
You think a whitefish is what we saw the other day?
Maybe. But it was black. I'm impressed. We made the right choice for lunch, that's for sure. So the lady who recommended this place said one thing in particular about it.
The pie.
What kind is it?
Chocolate peanut butter. That's why I opted for the healthy version, so I could have this. So good. Okay, so one of the best things about having our home attached to our car and not needing to stay in hotels and stuff.
Is it after we eat a big turkey stuffing mashed potato sandwich we can go take a nap before we start driving again?
No, it's when roads close and bridge closes and stuff like that. Our plans can change with us. We're not determined to go to a certain spot. But the bridge we were just about to go over, the Mackinac
Bridge,
is closed because there was a bomb threat on it. Crazy. We had people sitting next to us who had a hotel on the other side and like they can't get there. We will just change our plan for the night. And now I'm gonna go get on the iPad and figure out where we're gonna go now. Okay, we went to Starbucks. We didn't get too much done because the internet was super slow, but we did get online and we were able to see that the bridge is now open. They didn't find anything on the bridge. They said they looked extensively and the bomb threat is clear, so we're good to go. This is crazy to me that this isn't an ocean. Like, that's an ocean.
Look at all the freighters. Like, you got a freighter there, and a freighter there. Like, I see 4.
That's an ocean. And here's where the traffic starts.
I wonder if there is current through here.
I don't
Like,
know.
if this was any body of water that we're used to, there would at times be a lot of current through here because it's such a narrow cut between 2 huge bodies of water.
So Lake Michigan is over there. Lake Huron is over there. And this is some sort of, do you remember the name of the strait? It's like Strait of...
I don't know, we'll narrate
put
it or put it in text or something. You know what all I'm thinking about right now?
What?
If that ship's wake is big enough to foil on.
We have so many followers from up this way, and you all have been telling us to check out the Great Lakes for years, literally years, and we finally made it. Not proud it took us this long, but we're excited to be here because it is gorgeous. If you haven't been to the Great Lakes, you gotta go to the Great Lakes. What about you? You lived way closer than I did, and you never went to the Great Lakes.
I mean, it's still pretty dang far. I've been to Minnesota for a wrestling camp. That's about it. And that's,
You've driven to and from California multiple times and you've never been here.
Almost all of it was along Route 10. And I think one time I took the northern route back, 80 or whatever. Yeah, that, by the time we left Colorado and whatever, we just didn't stop from there. So, I don't know. It is beautiful.
It only took you 8 years, Jetty. But you can add another state to your list of states. 3, 2, 1. It's officially official. We are on the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Yes, I know. It's very exciting. It is very exciting.
4. Thank you. Alright, so we found a campsite. It's another state forest campsite, just like the last one we were at. This one's called Hog Island. As soon as we got off that Mackinac Bridge, it started to just become more and more rural. Now we're, what, an hour outside of that bridge? And it's just all, first it was all national forest, now it's all state forest, like almost no buildings around. So it's pretty cool. And we have another hour and change before we get to the next spot we want to go to. We'll see what it's like on the way there. Probably tomorrow we'll head out, right? Just stay here for the night. Here's water, but there's no way you can hook up your hose to it, right?
Okay, we found one. I just want to see if there's actually access to the water, and it looks like there's a trail. Sweet.
We have our home for the evening. Not the most level spot in the world, but could be worse. It looks like there's a little path right to the beach over here, so let's go check it out. Look at that sun. What time is it, love?
8:30.
8:30. And look how high the sun is still. And it's not even, like, it's well past the longest day of the year. This is something I've never experienced being this far north in the summer, is how light it stays out super late. Pretty wild. Wow. You can still feel it too. Like, it was 10 o'clock last night. Like, the sun was set, but it was still light out. And at 10 o'clock, it was unbelievable. You know you're not on the ocean when you got Christmas trees growing on the beach.
Again, I hope you appreciate that shot. I had to climb out on the side of the road. People were honking at me.